I have an article here from gamesindustry.biz, the new Ubisoft Plus, and getting gamers comfortable with not owning their games. Ubisoft introduces its classic service to PC, and more to come on Activision Blizzard. Ubisoft has rebranded its subscription offering and introduced a new service for PC players. Ubisoft's main all singing, all dancing subscription offering has been rebranded Ubisoft Plus Premium. This service is the one that features all new releases such as this week's Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which is available early to subscribers, costs $17.99, and is accessible via PC, Xbox, and Amazon Luna. They're also adding a thing called Ubisoft Plus Classics on PC. The Classics option was already available to PlayStation players and features back catalog games like Far Cry 6 and Rainbow Six Siege for $7.99 a month. Well, $10 less. Okay. Looked at the consumer behavior and how people were interacting with our offer, and we saw an opportunity for us to evolve, explains Philippe Tremblay, Director of Subscriptions at Ubisoft. Then he goes on and he talks about we saw an opportunity, yada, yada, yada. The company has seen millions of subscribers over the last 4 years. They've played over 500,000 hours of gameplay, yada, yada, yada. It goes on and talks. You know, now the article does mention that the price point exceeds, in some cases, what Xbox and PlayStation charge for their services, but Tremblay believes the cost is reasonable considering what's on offer. Day one games and such and everything. So I kind of get what he's saying. And now there is a part here I want to get to real quick that some people they're kind of taking it out of context, but at the same time not. I'll get to that real quick. Talking about one of the things, blah blah blah. Because you're talking about the differences between you become CD, then you go DVD, and so on and such forth. You don't lose what you've built in the game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. The idea of playing a streaming service and stuff. And of course, a lot of people are responding to that with, well, if you don't own the game, then piracy isn't illegal. It can't be, but by its very nature. There's nothing wrong with piracy if you don't actually own the game. And, that's one of those things. I'm I'm more on the pro side of that. I don't know what I can say or whatever, because how YouTube is and stuff. I can see them how I already get in trouble sometimes for the little stuff I put on my channel. Not even advocating, talking about really, I mean, not even really advocating for piracy and stuff. Although I think you got to look into it for yourself. But that's all I'll say. But the idea of a streaming service that you're paying for a month and not owning the game, that's I mean, we're already seeing that with like Game Pass. We're seeing it with Netflix in terms of like movies and TV shows and stuff. That's the wave of the future. That's the way things are going to be. Now, you're still going to have the option to buy these individual games depending on the person. Now, like, I don't think Ubisoft will ever get rid of the idea of buying an individual game. They might steer you more towards doing the subscription. The problem though with wanting you to do a subscription is you have to be subscribed for a handful of months before it becomes profitable for them. You know, like if you buy a $70 game from them versus if you subscribe for 2 months at $18 a month, basically we'll call it. That's $36. I mean, that's half price, basically. Now you can sit there and say, well, yeah, but we've already primed them so that they'll subscribe again later and stuff. And that's one of the beauty parts, quote unquote, of like the streaming services for video games or movies, TV shows, whatever, where okay, well, I'm just going to subscribe for a month. Then I'm going to, then I'll cancel for a month, 2 months, and then I'll subscribe again when there's another game that comes out. That kind of stuff. So in a way, it's possible to save money if you're a gamer, especially if you don't play a lot of games. But it's also some of the times they count on people having these subscriptions and then almost kind of forgetting about it. Because there are people who forget about these subscriptions. Must be nice to not have to worry about money and shit like that. It's like how do you forget that you're subscribed to all these various things? I don't understand it. Hell, they even have apps to help with that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, I suppose. Um, but I know some people are really running with the whole. It's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. The quote from it, Tremblay, and it's easy to sit there and say, "Well, you son of a bitch," blah blah blah, and you go off on him and stuff and everything. But I think what he's talking about in terms of this being a streaming service, he I think he's accurate that it's that we're seeing more and more people. Now I'm the type, because I'm Gen X basically. I'm not the type who's really gonna get into just streaming. You know, that's not me. I didn't grow up with it. People who are growing up with it now and stuff, or who have been growing up in the last 10, 15 years or whatever, I think they're a lot more likely to just be like, I'll stream it. I don't care. Same with like digital games. I try to get physical, editions or physical copies, I should say, as much as I possibly can. I understand it might be a pain in the ass to have to switch to disc, do this, do it, whatever. I get it. And it sucks. But one of the things that they always screw up, in my opinion, I'll just go off on this tangent real quick. I'll try to make it quick. But is the digital versions of these games cost the same, if not more, than the physical copies. Because with the physical copies, they take up shelf space and stuff. So these retailers, they're not going to want a bunch of games sitting there, or movies or whatever, just littering their shelves. So you got to discount them after a while. You got to do this, you got to do that. Whereas like with digital, shit, a lot of these places they don't even. I mean, they'll have like Steam sales and stuff, and that's actually pretty good for the most part. But you got plenty of places, PlayStation or wherever, that they have sales, but not as much as they should. Especially if these companies truly want you to go digital with your purchases and stuff, then why don't they have a discount for when you buy the game, and like you're at launch, pre-order. I mean, hell, you don't save any money at all with the way it is. It's like, what the hell? You can't break me off $5, $10 or something, for Christ's sake. Yeah, it's one less copy you got to worry about printing and shipping and so on and such forth and stuff. One less copy that could be on the shelves. One less copy that could be bought, secondhand, used, and so on and such forth. I I don't get it. That's neither here nor there, I suppose. The article goes on. I'll link this in the description box. You can read it for yourself, and it kind of goes on, and you know they talk a lot about wanting to make the subscription service as valuable as possible and stuff. And he says, because he says a few times, there's more to come. Our players are definitely excited about this. We're actively working on this part. Blah blah blah. It's subscription. And then he talks some about subscription fatigue as part of the consumer reality. I'm a dad with teenagers, difficult to keep up what you're subscribing to and where. That's part of the challenge we have as a subscription service, and we're embracing it. Which is kind of like what I was talking about before, where I don't understand the people who, oh, I forgot I had that subscription. But I mean, it's out there. It exists. And it's no judgment on those people or whatever. It's just you must have a super busy life, or you're just very rich and you don't have to worry about it. I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I do fall down on the mindset of, or I mean, I do come down on the side of the mindset of, if I don't own the game, then it's not piracy, for me to again, I'm trying to be really careful with my word choices here, but if I don't own the games, it's impossible for me to pirate them. But anyway, I probably butchered that. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm starting to ramble here now, a little more than usual. Like I said, I'll link this in the description box. You can read it for yourself. That's pretty much the end of the article right there. But thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.